Imagine a world where death is not the end. What if, instead of fading to black, your consciousness continues? This is the tantalizing promise of quantum immortality, a concept that emerges from the stranger facets of quantum mechanics. It suggests that even in the face of fatal events, a version of you persists, forever experiencing the universe. This idea may seem like science fiction, yet it finds its roots in the perplexing realm of quantum physics. Here, the rules governing the universe as we know it begin to blur. Particles exist in multiple states at once. The act of observation determines reality, and perhaps, just perhaps, death itself loses its finality. The allure of quantum immortality is undeniable. It taps into our deepest fears and desires, offering a glimmer of hope in the face of oblivion. But is it truly possible? To understand, we must venture into the mind-bending world of quantum mechanics and explore one of its most startling interpretations, the many worlds interpretation, or MWI. Let us embark on this journey, exploring the science, philosophy, and cultural impact of this captivating and controversial idea. Our exploration will delve into the heart of what it means to exist, to die, and to potentially live on in an infinite tapestry of possibilities. To grasp the concept of quantum immortality, we must first grapple with the many worlds interpretation, or MWI. Proposed by physicist Hugh Everett III in 1957, MWI offers a radical solution to a fundamental puzzle in quantum mechanics: the perplexing way particles seem to exist in multiple states simultaneously until measured, at which point they collapse into a single state. Everett's solution? No collapse happens at all. Instead, each possible state of a particle actually exists in a separate parallel universe. Imagine flipping a coin. In our everyday world, it lands heads or tails. In the MWI, both outcomes occur, one in a universe where the coin landed heads, and another where it landed tails. Applying this to ourselves, every quantum event in our lives, every decision we make, could split the universe. This leads to an unimaginable number of parallel worlds, each slightly different from the other. In one universe, you're reading this essay. In another, you might be a musician or an astronaut. The possibilities are truly endless. MWI is a controversial interpretation of quantum mechanics, even among physicists. Some find it elegant and mathematically compelling, others argue it's untestable and needlessly extravagant. However, the idea of countless parallel universes, each a unique branch of reality, holds a powerful allure. It's within this framework that the idea of quantum immortality takes root. One of the most famous thought experiments in quantum mechanics is Schrödinger's cat. A cat is placed in a box with a device that has a 50% chance of releasing a lethal poison. Until the box is opened, the cat exists in a superposition, both alive and dead. Only when the box is opened does the cat's fate become certain. This thought experiment, while intended to highlight the strangeness of quantum mechanics, raises intriguing questions about consciousness and observation. What if, instead of a device, the cat's fate was tied to a human observer making a quantum measurement? Would the observer also exist in a superposition until the measurement was made? This is where the link between Schrödinger's cat and quantum immortality begins to emerge. Some proponents of quantum immortality argue that consciousness plays a crucial role in the collapse of the wave function. In this view, as long as there's a conscious observer present in one of the branching universes, the observer will continue to experience existence. However, this interpretation is where things get even more speculative. There's no scientific consensus that consciousness plays a special role in quantum mechanics. The relationship between the observer and the observed remains one of the biggest mysteries in quantum physics. Yet the possibility, however slim, is enough to fuel the imagination and lead us further down the rabbit hole of quantum immortality. Quantum immortality takes the MWI and applies it to the ultimate unknown death. Imagine a scenario where you face a fatal event. In most universes, your consciousness would cease, but in a tiny fraction of those branching realities, you survive. Perhaps a tiny quantum fluctuation alters the course of events, or a crucial decision is made differently. According to the proponents of quantum immortality, this is where the experience of you continues. Your consciousness seamlessly transitions into the surviving universes, oblivious to the countless others where your story ended. From your perspective, you would experience a string of incredibly improbable events, always finding yourself on the side of survival. This raises profound questions about the nature of self and personal identity. What does it truly mean for you to persist if your consciousness is constantly branching into different versions of reality? Is it still you experiencing life after a fatal event, or is it a different version, shaped by the unique circumstances of its survival? These are not questions with easy answers. Quantum immortality forces us to confront the fundamental nature of consciousness, identity, and the very fabric of reality. It's a concept that blurs the lines between science, philosophy, and even science fiction. Section 5. A universe of dilemmas, ethical and philosophical crossroads. The concept of quantum immortality, while intriguing, is not without its share of ethical and philosophical dilemmas. If we truly are immortal in a quantum sense, how does this change our understanding of life, death, and the consequences of our actions? One immediate concern is the issue of moral responsibility. If every possible outcome of our actions occurs in some universe, does it diminish the significance of our choices in this one? Why bother with ethics or morality if every possible consequence, good or bad, is playing out somewhere in the multiverse? Furthermore, the idea of surviving every near-death experience, while initially appealing, raises troubling possibilities. Imagine a scenario where you exist in a perpetual state of near-death experiences, constantly shifting to universes where you barely survive. Is this true immortality, or an unending nightmare? Quantum immortality also challenges our understanding of grief and loss. If a loved one passes away in this universe, does the knowledge that they might continue to exist in another provide comfort or simply complicate the grieving process? These are difficult questions with no easy answers. The ethical and philosophical implications of quantum immortality are vast and complex. They force us to confront our deepest fears and desires, challenging our understanding of life, death, and the meaning of existence itself. Section 6. Science or speculation. The challenge of proving the unprovable. While the idea of quantum immortality is captivating, it's crucial to remember that it remains highly speculative. Currently, there's no scientific consensus on the validity of the many worlds interpretation, let alone its implications for immortality. The primary challenge lies in the very nature of the theory. The MWI proposes the existence of an infinite number of universes, each inaccessible from our own. This makes it inherently difficult, if not impossible, to design experiments that could prove or disprove its existence. Critics argue that without testable predictions, the MWI remains a philosophical interpretation rather than a robust scientific theory. They point to other interpretations of quantum mechanics that don't require the existence of parallel universes, even if those interpretations don't offer the same tantalizing possibility of immortality. However, even if we can't definitively prove or disprove the MWI, exploring its implications can still be a valuable thought experiment. It forces us to confront the limits of our current understanding of the universe and consider possibilities that lie beyond our current scientific grasp. Section 7. Echoes in culture, quantum immortality in stories and beyond. Despite its speculative nature, the concept of quantum immortality has captured the imagination of writers, filmmakers, and artists, weaving its way into popular culture. From movies and TV shows to novels and video games, the idea of surviving death through alternate realities provides fertile ground for storytelling. One of the most striking examples is the 2013 science fiction film Coherence, which explores the interpersonal consequences of a group of friends experiencing a reality-bending event potentially linked to the MWI. The film cleverly uses the concept of parallel universes to create a suspenseful and thought-provoking narrative. Video games have also explored the concept, often allowing players to make choices that branch the narrative, creating different outcomes and endings. This interactive storytelling format allows players to engage with the concept of multiple realities in a more direct and personal way. Beyond explicit depictions, the influence of quantum immortality can be felt in the broader cultural fascination with alternate realities, time travel, and the idea of multiple selves. Whether taken literally or metaphorically, the concept resonates with our deepest fears and desires, offering a glimpse into a reality where death may not be the end. Section 8. Living with Infinity: How Quantum Immortality Could Reshape Our World. Even if quantum immortality remains a theoretical possibility, contemplating its implications can have profound effects on our outlook on life and death. How might our behavior change if we truly believe that some version of ourselves continues to exist, no matter what? On a personal level, the knowledge of our potential immortality could lead to greater risk-taking or a decreased fear of death. It might also alter our approach to morality and decision-making, knowing that every choice branches off into a new reality. On a societal level, the implications are even more complex. Would we develop new ethical frameworks to navigate a world where death is not the end? How would our legal systems adapt to a reality where multiple versions of ourselves could be held accountable for actions taken in different timelines? Ultimately, whether or not quantum immortality proves to be true, wrestling with its implications can be a valuable exercise. It forces us to confront our place in the universe, the nature of self, and the meaning of existence itself. It reminds us that even in the face of the unknown, the human capacity for wonder and exploration remains boundless.